Alrighty, howdy neighbors, and welcome back to Corpse Party, the Book of Shadows. Last time, Miss Yui did not heed anybody's advice and showed up to school at around 7 p.m. Anyway, we continue. I decided to dash toward my classroom so I could get out of this hall as quickly as possible. Finally reaching the familiar door, I swiftly opened it and flicked on the lights.
やっとたどり着いたーっと。あとはペンケースを忘れないようにしなくちゃ。
Alright, I made it. Now I just have to be absolutely certain I do not leave here without that pen case again. Thanks to all my unaffected pauses to freak out over thunder and lightning, it took me far longer than it should have to get here. It was already well past 7.
7時か。
7 o'clock, huh? It was the appointed time when the ghost of the teacher was supposed to be, when the ghost of the teacher was supposed to appear, at least according to school legend.
何もないじゃない。
No undead educators here. Not yet. I let out a sigh of relief and relaxed my shoulders a bit. The lights were on, both inside the classroom and out in the hallway. Sure, it was still dead silent, but the fear I'd been feeling had completely melted away.
全然怖くないよ。やっぱり七不思議だなんて嘘だったんだな。
Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of. The 7 wonders aren't real. I grabbed the pen case I'd come back for and shoved it into my pocket.
よし、これで任務完了だね。
Alright, mission accomplished. With my long ordeal behind me, or less, I looked around the classroom and let out another sigh. I'd only ever known this classroom when it was bustling with activity, and thus found its eerie silence and utter stillness to be oddly fascinating.
教室に私一人ってなんだか不思議な感じがするな。
Such a strange feeling being alone in a classroom like this. I got the idea in my head to try doing something I normally wouldn't be able to do. Like standing at the teacher's podium and writing on the blackboard.
こんなシチュエーションめったにないし。
Chances like this don't come too often after all. You know, you're right, Miss Yui. To me, the area behind the podium, from which teachers conduct their lessons, was like a sacred place. I dreamed of standing there myself one day, and could hardly resist its pull when presented with a rare opportunity like this.
今なら誰も見てないし。
Well, no one's looking. To my classmates, this would seem like such a silly, stupid dilemma, but that didn't change the way I felt in that moment.
どうしようかな。
Should I or shouldn't I? Girl... You know, I am all about fulfilling dreams as long as it doesn't involve killing other people.
少しだけ先生の気分を味わっちゃえ。
How can I pass this up? It's a chance to feel like a real teacher. I decided I had to try it. During daily cleanup and such, I had come and gone from this spot countless times. But this was the first time I had ever had an opportunity to just stand here and preside over a classroom.
そうか。先生からはこんな風に見えるんだ。教室って。
So this is how it looks to a teacher, huh?
なんかちょっとドキドキする。
It's kind of awe-inspiring. Gaining a teacher's point of view, in the most literal sense, it was starting to get me really fired up. It may seem silly now, but this was my stage. This is where all my dreams would play out.
私もいつか。
Someday. I began to imagine the future that awaited me, painstakingly detailing some new piece of knowledge for students sitting attentively at their desks, gliding chalk along the board, filling it with information to aid them in their studies.
いつか先生になれるといいな。
I sure hope I can make the cut one of these days. I was getting so excited that I even began to think my behavior was a little strange. Maybe it was the juxtaposition of these joyous, freeing visions and the prickling dread I'd been feeling up until just a moment or two before. But then, in the blink of an eye, one of those two conflicting emotions completely overpowered the other. Lights turn off. Yeah. Crap, is it a blackout? Suddenly, my surroundings were bathed in darkness. Going stiff with shock, I stumbled back a step. My bag struck the blackboard with a dull thud. What awful timing. I instinctively grabbed hold of the rail where the eraser sat. I felt chalk dust against my fingertips. My panicked heartbeat was making it difficult to breathe. Was this caused by the thunderstorm? If so, she picked a fine time to turn the lights out on me. Also, the organ is very pretty.
しかもオルガンの音まだ響いてる。嘘なんで？停電になってるならオルガンだって鳴らないはずなのに。
And what's more, I could still hear the sound of the organ. But no, it's an electric organ. How is it even possible with no power? You must not go. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? That's impossible. She was no fortune teller or psychic as far as I was aware. How could you possibly have known this would have happened? Hell, even if she were a fortune teller or a psychic, predicting the future is the stuff of science fiction. I shook my head.
落ち着くのよ、私。音楽室の方はまだ停電になってないとか、きっとそんな理由だよ。
I need to calm down. Maybe it's just this wing that lost power. And the music room is still okay. That seems plausible, right? Sure. I curled my chalk-dusted fingers into a fist and silently tried to talk some sense into myself.
ともかく早く校舎を出よう。
I've got to get out of here. I shouldn't have been playing teacher. I should have been in and out by now. Cursing myself a little, I fumbled my way through the darkened classroom. I spent so much time in here. I think I'd be able to find my way out of it with my eyes closed, as it were. But sadly, that wasn't the case. Smashing loudly into a desk, I knocked it on its side and began tumbling after it, instinctively grabbing onto other desks around me for support. Oof.
いけない。机の中身まき散らしちゃったよ。
Damn it, it sounds like I knocked a lot of stuff out of that desk.
元に戻さなくちゃ。
Guess I need to put everything back. Still fumbling around blindly, I gathered up all the scattered notes, textbooks, and writing utensils.
でも暗くて何がなんだか。もう何やってるのよ、急いでるのに。本当にドジなんだから。
I can't tell what's what. This is so embarrassing. What the heck am I doing anyway? Wasn't I supposed to be hurrying home? Such a klutz. I let out a sigh. I seem to be doing that a lot lately.
これは教科書とノートでしょ?
Okay, this is a textbook and this is a notebook, right? I was trying to take inventory of all the things I'd knocked out of the desk, then realized why. Might as well just stand it up and stuff it all back.
さすがに全部を間違いなく元に戻すのは無理だな。明日ここの席の子に謝らなくちゃ。
I can't possibly organize it properly in absolute darkness. I'll just apologize tomorrow to whoever sits here. Not that that was a particularly pleasant prospect. Explaining what I'd done wouldn't be easy, and no matter how I sugarcoated it, it would serve as a clear indication of my clumsiness. If I didn't say anything, it's not like I'd be found out. But that would be the same as lying as far as I'm concerned. And I couldn't do that.
これで最後かな?
Okay, I think I got everything. I placed my hand against the floor and searched around, feeling for anything I might have missed. And I found something alright.
やだ、 何これ。なんだかぬるぬるして。
Ew, gross. What is this? So slimy. Ugh. I clearly brushed my fingers across something. I had no idea what. It was no notebook or writing implement, though, that's for sure.
机の中からなんでブニュブニュしたものが。
Why would anybody have something like this in their desk? Maybe it's been on the floor all along.
なんだろうこれ。
What is this stuff? I rubbed my sticky fingertips a bit deeper into the wet spot. I rubbed my hand as close to my face as I could to get a better look at what it was. What on earth did I just touch? Eek. There was a flash of lightning almost immediately from a roaring thunderclap. And with it a split second, the pitch black classroom was lit up bright as day. Oh, mama, no! God, is that blood? That was fantastic. I shot to my feet, utterly mortified. In that split second, I'd gotten a very good look at my fingers. And it really did seem as if they were covered in blood. But it wasn't just my hand. No. If my peripheral vision were to be trusted, it looked like the entire classroom was stained in deep, dark crimson.
そういえば、なんとなく生臭い気がする。
Crap. Kinda smells like blood in here, too. Without thinking, I backed away from where I had been crouching. I tried rationalizing what I saw. How could a whole classroom become a bloodbath like this? Did something spill? Did someone stumble in here injured?
ありえない。そんな、何よこれ。
This isn't possible. It can't be. I mean, how? My whole body was quaking. I fled from the classroom. Or rather, tried to flee.
開かない。やだ。
What? Why wouldn't it open? No, please, no.
鍵なんてかかってなかったのに。今だって鍵はかかってないよ。それなのに、どうして？
I don't remember locking it, and it isn't locked. So, why can't I get it open? I pulled on the door handle again, and again, in a frenzy. I was pulling so hard, I felt like my fingers might tear loose. But it just won't budge.
なんで？なんでよ！
Why, please? I was absentmindedly grabbing at my hair with one hand, slamming my fist into a nearby desk with the other. It was a nightmare. Please, no, what's going on? Silence saturated the inky blackness of the room. I took several deep breaths in an effort to restrain my pounding heart.
とにかく一度落ち着かないと。そもそもドアが開かないのだって私がこんなにパニックになってるせいかもしれないし。
Calm down. I have to calm down. I'm probably just panicking because the door won't open.
さっきの変な塊だってきっと何かの勘違いだよ。だってありえないじゃない。教室にあんなわけのわからないものが落ちてるだなんて。
I probably just... Oh, I'm sure I just misidentified whatever was on the floor. I mean, it's preposterous, right? There's no way something like that could happen. I was certain that when I saw what was actually... Oh my god. I was certain that when I saw it actually was come morning, it'd end up being something totally random. Like someone's old soda-stained gym clothes.
きっとそうだよ。そうだ。指についたのだって美術に使う絵の具かもしれないじゃない。
That has to be it. Yeah, probably just brushed against somebody's paint from art class or something. My imagination was just running wild because I was panicking.
もしかしたらドアに何かが挟まってて開かないだけかもしれない。
And the door probably just has something caught in it, that's all. I decided to check out that hypothesis by feeling my way across the door and determining if anything was jutting out from any of the cracks.
ダメだ。真っ暗で何にも見えない。
Damn, not sure I can do this without being able to see. I fumbled around the gaps in the door, but I just couldn't make anything out that would be doing this. My classroom's rear exit seemed a world away.
他の出口は
Maybe there's another way out of here. A body bag. No, this was the third floor. I couldn't get out of this classroom without exiting into the hallway.
今すぐ外に出たいのに
Let me out, I want out. Still at a loss, I noticed a sudden flash of light through the hallway window. But the glass was only translucent, so I couldn't be sure of its
誰
source.
か歩いてくる
Is somebody out there? Then there came a distinctive clop, clop, clop of footsteps. I have a feeling it's about to be choice time. Oh, of course, it must be the custodian. I recalled the existence of a custodian who always patrolled the school grounds. I was sure he must have been taking a look around after the sudden power outage. Great, I'm saved. All at once, my fear-addled legs regained their strength. This nightmare would soon be over. Excuse me. I shouted for the custodian through the window as loudly as I could muster. Let me do this. Excuse me! I'm trapped in here! There you go. I had to be sure he heard me. I shouted again. Finally, I could see the light out in the hallway again, and it seemed to be getting closer. However, something is not right about this. Perturbed, I took a step away from the window. If it's a flashlight, shouldn't it be brighter? Kinda looks like the faint unearthly glow. Classically attributed to spirits, was what I was thinking. I tried to stop myself from finishing that thought, however. Don't aside. It also looked like it was wiggling around. Very unnatural, very unflashlight-like way. And these footsteps. 4 clops. Then 3 or so. Then a 3 or so second interval. Then another 4 clops. They were sounding in a fixed rhythm. That's no custodian. Nobody walks like that. The fear was back and in full force. I had to find somewhere to hide. Hide? What the? We're hiding? Where are we hiding? What if I'd accidentally summoned something inhuman? I mean, whatever that was, I begged it for help. I literally invited it in. I need to hide, but where? Let's be stupid. Let's save. I'm gonna be a fucking moron. Let's go. I hurriedly hid myself beneath the teacher's podium. I'm just gonna choose the stupidest options. I hope everyone knows. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for a wrong end. I'm ready to die. I grabbed my knees, curled up, and made myself as small as I could. What is this? What's happening? The footsteps continued to draw nearer and nearer. Clop, 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 rest. Little by little, the sound grew louder. Every hair of my body was standing on end. Please just pass by, please. I held my breath, clasped my hands together, and silently prayed. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. They were close now. Very, very close. Please, God. Why was this happening? 'Cause you suck. I couldn't make any sense of it. I just wanted it to be over. I prayed to God so it would end. Was this what the old woman was trying to warn me about? Was this all happening because I ignored her? Because I didn't take the paper doll from her? Was it because I'd heard the ghost story of Yoshi and allowed it to get to me? Or did the strange events of the day have nothing to do with what was happening to me now? It feels like my heart is going to burst out of my chest. I was still holding my breath. I didn't dare let even the tiniest of sounds escape and give away my position. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. The consistent rhythm of the footsteps suddenly ended, halfway into one of its circles. And it had ended right in front of this very classroom. Fuck yeah! Corpse party! Take it to the limit. Oh, oh! Oh fuck. It's Yoshi. I had goosebumps up and down my arms and legs. I stopped praying and clasped my hands over my mouth. I knew I'd scream if I didn't. Could this be Yoshi? Was the school legend real? All I could do was close my eyes, keep my mouth shut, and hope that whoever or whatever this was would just go away. But the footstep sounds didn't start again. If this was indeed Yoshi, and she stopped in front of the classroom and was just standing there. I had no concept of time anymore. I stayed in my hiding spot for what was probably only a few minutes, but it felt like at least an hour. Maybe whoever was gone. I decided to carefully peek out from under the podium. I gingerly edged my head. I was just far enough to get a glimpse of the room, when suddenly... footsteps rang out once more. It sounded like they were headed right for me. And they might have been inside the room. Honestly, I couldn't tell. I scrambled back into my hiding spot and covered my mouth with both my hands. Dude, my heart is fucking pounding. No lie, no joke. Oh my god. This was too much for me. My breath was coarse and erratic, and my face was a mess of tears and snot. God, please save me. I was inconsolable. The footsteps just wouldn't stop. What on earth were they doing? It almost seemed like they were running around in circles, just to scare me. Stop it, please stop it. I mouthed these words over and over again, and moved my hands to my ears in the vain attempt to block out this torturous sound. And as if in response, the sound changed. Uh-oh. It was a loud, dull thud, followed by silence. No more footsteps. I'd heard that sound hundreds of times before. It was the sound of the classroom door sliding open. I peeked out, but the door was standing tightly shut. How could that be? If the sound I heard wasn't the door, then what was it? The other fucking door, because you have two. A little safety I felt here was pretty much gone, but to be fair, I wasn't absolutely certain the spirit had seen or heard me either. The prospect of stepping out into the open wasn't a desirable one, but I had to decide if it was better to stay where I was, or to make a break for it. Oh, I know I said I'd be stupid, But is this the amount of stupid I want to be? Because I'm a coward! I'm a coward! Okay. Go! Staying in one place for too long seemed like it would be inviting trouble. So I took a deep breath and reluctantly crawled out as quietly as I could. But almost immediately, I felt something. Tap. Something long and thin struck me in the back of the head. Or perhaps struck wasn't the right word. There was a little force behind it, but it wasn't a hard slam. If someone was trying to get my attention.
木の棒？これは指？
That one rod. Or no, it's a finger. I knew I wouldn't like what I was going to see. But I had to face whatever it was, so I turned around. And there looming over me was... Fuck. Is the room tilting? Go home, child. That's what I'm trying to do, bitch! A figure was peering down at me from above the podium. With one emancipated wishbone-like finger extending toward my face. I recognized the person instantly. No doubt about it. It was a strange old woman who'd suddenly passed away earlier. I was getting out of mind. I tumbled the rest of the way out of the podium and shot to my feet. A ghost. There really was a ghost in this school. My breathing was ragged, and my heart was pounding so hard I thought it might explode. Wait a minute, hold on. Take out of this real quick, because Sachiko, right? She was given a chance to be physical and like fully corporeal again during the murders, like the main 3 murders that set off everything at Heavenly Host. So what if the same thing happened to Yoshie? And she knew that this was going to happen to Miss Yui. So she's like, if you are going to like come to the school, because she already knew that she was going to be going back to the school. If you're going to the school, take this. It'll help protect you. So I feel like the old woman from earlier was Sachiko's mom, aka Yoshie. And I know that there's going to be people that are like, actually you're so wrong because A, B, C, D, and E. But that's what I like to think. That's what I'm choosing to believe here in the black hole that I call a heart. Plowing through all the desks in my way, I ran as fast as I could toward the classroom door. But that was as far as I could go. What's wrong? There on the other side of the door, tied up against the glass, was the old woman. She was glowing bluish white, the source of the light from earlier. But how in the world did she get to the door before I did? How did she get out of the room so quickly, position herself so perfectly to block my exit? Yeah, I picked the wrong choice. I felt like I was starting to hyperventilate, and tried as best I could to calm my breathing as my eyes darted about the room. I needed to get out of here, now. To get as far away from this place as I possibly could.
前のドアから出られないとなると、外に出るには後ろのドアから出るしか。
The front door is blocked, maybe I can get out the back. でもそうすると、廊下は前のドアにいるあの幽霊の後ろを通らないと出口にはつかない。 But if I do that, I can't leave the school without running right past her.
そんなの無理。でも
There's no way she'd let me by, but I have to do something. Surely there's a set of stairs in the back as well. I bit my lip and continued scanning the room.
何かあれに対抗できるようなものがあればいいんだけど。
Something if I just had something I could use to fight back. I didn't have time to think carefully about it. I just had to grab something and hope for the best. Oh, stupid choice. There were 2 choices, and I had to pick one on impulse, before it was too late. Oh, what the fuck? Bag of salt!
これって科学の実験の時に使った塩の残りだよね。
I was gonna pick broom, because you could just, like, whap a ghost, and I was like, wait, no, hold on. Oh no, I'm sorry. I said I was going to, and then I didn't. That's on me. That is for my brain, my conscience. I fucked up. This looks like leftover salt from an old chemistry experiment. Sprinkle dinkle, bitch. I heard that salt was used in purification rituals, so it seemed like a natural choice.
よし、これを持っていこう。
That was also my reasoning. Because if you played... What was it? It was Misao. You had to do the salt in a specific spot on the floor, so that way the spirit would go away. It would be gone. So, that was my thinking, taking experience that I've already had from other games. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Okay, this is coming with me. It's already- there's gonna be no second salt in that. Look, it's already open. It places salt in my pocket as a sort of protective charm.
怖いけど、行くしかない。
I'm scared, but well, here's nothing. And I looked over. The spirit of the old woman was holding out her hand from the other side of the doorframe. She really was trying to catch me. I was just being paranoid. She was going to kill me and turn me into a ghost like her. I was convinced. This had to be Yoshi, the teacher from the urban legend.
やだ、そんなの。
No, I won't let her get me. Bracing myself, I darted toward the door to the back end of the classroom. It wasn't a moment to lose. If I didn't act fast, I probably wouldn't be able to act at all. I threw the door open and just began running at top speed, hoping to escape behind the spirit's back. Unsurprisingly, trying to outrun a ghost proved to be a fruitless endeavor. The spirit saw me and moved at breakneck speed to intercept me. I should have picked the broom. You're gonna go whapping. Oh, this is terrible. Don't come any closer. I thrust my hand in my pocket and withdrew the bag of salt. I threw the entire thing directly at the old woman's face. Why the fuck would you throw the entire thing, dumbass?
いるんだ、この隙に。
She recoiled, now's my chance. I ran down the hall as fast as my legs could carry me, briefly glancing over my shoulder a moment to confirm that the spirit was still around. Okay, I'm gonna choose the next stupid option. I just kept on running down that dark hallway, with nothing but adrenaline and a little fear to keep me going. I reached the stairwell at the end of the hall, and made a mad dash toward the ground level. I was determined to get out of this building alive. Stop. Finally, still moving at top speed, I reached the windowed door leading outside. Almost there, almost out. Luckily, the malevolent spirit hadn't caught up to me yet. It actually seemed like I might be able to escape. I might actually survive this.
やっとここまで。
I made it. I grabbed the handle and tried pulling it.
やだ、やだ、開かない。
No, it's not opening.
なんで、どうして、ここまで来て。
Why? Why? I'm so close.
どうして、開いてよ、開いてよ。
Please, please open. I'm begging you.
どうしよう、このままじゃまたあの化け物に。なんとかしなくちゃ、なんとか。
I have to think of something else. At this rate, the horrible woman is going to... No, I can't let that happen. What do I do? Stupid decision time. I'm ready. Let me be stupid. Break the fucking glass.
そうだ。
Oh, hey. I think we still have our umbrella, right? put my thoughts in order, I came to a sudden realization that I was right near the umbrella racks. Yeah! Wait, that wasn't a stupid decision. Well, it kinda was. Because we might not be able to actually break the glass. So we could run somewhere else. Break the fucking glass. I feel like I did make the stupid decision here. I feel like we're gonna get a bad end, baby. Woo! Unless the spirit had taken note of something, my umbrella should still be right where it left it. There it is. Practically tackled the rack, grabbing my umbrella with one swift motion. Not from the handle, mind you, but from the top. Then, taking aim at the glass part of the door, I swung as hard as I could, smacking it dead center of the sturdy plastic handle. The glass wasn't going to break so easily, of course, but it did crack, giving me impetus needed to go for a second hit. Break, damn you, break! Again and again, I struck the glass. I had the umbrella gripped so tightly that the metal skeleton of the canopy was leaving indentations in my skin. I was sure there was no better way to do this. But I didn't have the luxury of time to figure out what that might have been. Stop, you must not leave. She's coming this way. I began smacking the glass even harder, even faster. My hands were killing me, but this was my only hope to survive. Finally, after far too much effort. Yes, I did it. The glass shattered on the floor, making one hell of a sound. Tepid air whooshed in from outside. It was still pouring rain, but I was free now, free to escape this hellhole. Okay. The pane I had broken was on the lower half of the door, and I didn't care if I cut myself. I got down on my hands and knees and crawled like mad. I did it. I'm almost outside. I can actually escape. I'm safe. I felt triumphant for a brief moment. The fear had gone, and I was basking in my victory over this malevolent entity. Huh? But it didn't last long. Before I was even halfway through the door, I felt something coiling itself around my arm. With a start, I looked back. Oh, it's Yoshie. You mustn't go outside. I feel so bad for Yoshie. Like, honestly. That she didn't deserve any part of that. No, she's the real tragic character here. Yoshie. A tall, shadowy figure had appeared behind me in the entranceway, and she had me in her grasp. There wasn't much more to her than an indistinct, flickering silhouette. I could clearly see she had a broken neck. Was this a different apparition? No, it's the same lady. I really have a feeling it's the same lady. Her scraggly, root-like fingers were squeezing my arm with tremendous force, pushing aside muscle and tissue, and pressing right into the bone. No, who? What are you? Where are you going, my dear? I'll be just a little longer, so could you please wait for me? That hurts, it really hurts. I was shaking hysterically, tears were streaming down my face. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die here. Let go of me. Sachi. I could offer no resistance, she was too strong. All I could do was plead with her. Stop, please, you're really hurting me. I felt like my arm could snap in two at any moment. Let's be together forever. She wasn't just grabbing, but twisting as well. The pain was unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. I couldn't think about anything else. My mind was absorbed by the unconscionable agony. Tsukasa, what the fuck? Shishida, what the fuck? Tsukasa, what the fuck? I thought my arm was about to snap off, and all of a sudden I was whisked away. Whisked away by Tsukasa. Are you okay? What the fuck? Why, Tsukasa? No time to explain, we have to run. Why was he here? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Why was he here? And why did he not come to my aid sooner? What? Tsukasa was still holding onto me tightly after saving me from the brink of death. He led me back to the school at an incredible speed. Damn, what the hell was that thing? Please tell me I'm just dreaming. He practically spit those words as he continued running. Why is Tsukasa here? That's exactly what I'm asking. I tried to match his gant, and once we were a bit more in sync, I looked up at his face. After we'd reached the end of the hall, he suddenly veered into the last classroom before the stairwell, pulling me in with him. Shishido, you okay? I'm fine. I can walk by myself, really. Oh, sorry, my bad. I moved away from Tsukasa and almost immediately spilled onto the ground, like a house of cards. Oh, you sure don't seem okay to me. Maybe not, but I just need a few. Here, don't push yourself. Tsukasa grabbed my arm to help me up. Unfortunately, it was the arm Yoshi had been twisting. Oh, sorry. Is that your arm that's hurting you then? Yeah. I don't know how bad it is, but it really stings like it's on fire. I draped my other hand over the sore spot, where I assumed it was probably going to be one hell of a bruise. Started rubbing gently, but it didn't help at all. That's no good. We should get to the nurse's office right away, then, and take care of it. But then we'll be... Exposing ourselves to that ghost again, right? Yeah. Just thinking about going back out there and facing Yoshi made me shudder. I couldn't believe he was even entertaining that idea. Don't worry. Even if she does come to get us, I'll keep you safe no matter what, okay? Hell yeah, Tsukasa. Tsukasa's gentle reassurance actually made me forget the pain in my arm for a moment. I had to stop myself from blushing. Or try to at any rate. We need to treat your injuries as quickly as possible, or they could get worse. The nurse may not be in, but I can at least apply first aid. The nurse is in. Yoshi is in the building. Okay. Alright then, let's go. Tsukasa offered me his hand, and I graciously took it, squeezing it tightly as he led me back out into the hallway. Tsukasa's hand is so warm. Despite the fact that nothing had really changed, I was still in just as much danger as I had been. The paralyzing feeling was gone. If it were just me, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I would have frozen up. But with Tsukasa late in the way, I felt like I could do anything.
シシド、少し走るけど大丈夫か?
Shishido, are you okay to run? Sure. With my blessing, Tsukasa upped his pace
もう
significantly.
あいつが出てきませんように。
Please don't let her show up. I prayed silently for smooth sailing as I followed Tsukasa's lead.
このまま司くんと一緒にいられれば安心。
As long as he's with me, I think I'll be okay. I gently squeezed his hand again, as if to reassure myself that he was still with me. I was starting to think maybe Yoshi was gone. Maybe we thwarted her. But of course, just as I was thinking that, she made her presence known again. What the hell was that? Show yourself. An unearthly voice reverberated through the dark corridor. I immediately drew myself into Tsukasa's back.
もっと連れてこい。
Bring me more. Oh. That's a new sprite for her. Over Tsukasa's shoulder, I saw the same shadow-like spirit from before. It must have been waiting here to ambush us.
大丈夫、落ち着け。
It's alright, stay calm. But the ghost was moaning and wavering before us. We'd never be able to get past it.
私のために何でもしてくれる。
You'll do anything for me.
おい、シシド。
Hey, Shishido. Yeah.
俺があいつを引きつけるから、その隙に走って逃げろ。
I'm going to draw that thing's attention. I was distracted and want you to run.
やだよ、一緒に逃げて。
What? No way, we'll run together.
俺には秘密兵器があるのさ。
I've got a secret weapon. You what?
俺のばあさんからもらった形見のお守り。さっきあいつにこれを向けたら少し割り上がった。
It's a keepsake charm my grandmother gave me. When I pointed it at the thing earlier, it definitely had an
形
effect.
見のお守り。
Charm? Yeah.
でも司くんやっぱり危険。
But Tsukasa, you'll still be putting yourself right in harm's way.
俺まあ、なんとかなるだろう。
I'll be fine. It'll all work out somehow or another.
そんな。
That's not.
待ちなさい。
Stay where you are. We really didn't have the time to be arguing. It was closing in fast. And as it did, I noticed the spirit's figure had become more defined. She was a tall young woman, with her head turned sideways at a 90-degree angle. The tale of Yoshie suggests she fell from a flight of stairs, so her broken neck would certainly fit.
早く走れ!
Go run. He gave my back a shove to get me started, and with no time to object, I unconsciously obliged. Tsukasa ran too, darting ahead of me for a few short
おい、化け物! こっちだ!
Hey, ghost lady, over here.
待ちなさい。
Stop.
司くん!
Tsukasa ran as close as he possibly could to get Yoshi's attention, then turned tail and began sprinting off in the opposite direction.
こっちだぞ! 化け物!
Come get me, you monster. Amazingly, it worked. The spirit began chasing Tsukasa, leaving me completely unobstructed.
どうしよう。私このまま一人逃げてもいいの？
This doesn't feel right. Should I really escape without him? I was torn. On the one hand, I knew this was my best chance, but I couldn't help worrying about what would happen to Tsukasa if his charm failed. I stopped for a moment and glanced over my shoulder. We were still running, and the shattered figure was still in hot pursuit.
司くん、お守り出して！危ないよ！
Tsukasa, she's way too close. You need to take out your charm.
いいから行けって！お前が逃げ切ったのを確認したら俺も逃げるからさ！
It's fine. I told you to keep going. Once you're out of harm's way, I'll be right behind you, I promise. I still can't believe I fell for it. But this was right about when I realized the truth. Tsukasa had no protective charm. Yeah, I just made that up so I wouldn't object too strongly to him serving as a decoy while I got away.
やっぱりダメ
No, I can't let him go through with this. I stepped in my tracks and shouted at the top of my
待ちな
lungs.
さいヨシエ先生
Yoshi, hold it right there. I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting myself into, but I had to do something. Calling his first name definitely seemed to have...
あなたの名前知ってるわよ
That's right, I know your
お
name.
いシスター
Shishido, what are you doing? All at once, the black figure was facing me. Though I never saw her turn around, she was flying toward me, ignoring
怖くない
Tsukasa.
怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない怖くない
I'm not scared, 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 I'm not scared. I repeated this like a mantra, and stuck one hand into my pocket, gripping tightly onto the one item I stashed there.
お前は私を知っているのか
So you know who I am,
私
then.
には本当にお守りがある
Unlike him, I have a real protective charm. Tsukasa's care, his effort, his beliefs, they were all packed into this pencil. What the fuck? And when I get right down to it, that was a charm, right? What the fuck? I squeezed the nubby little thing in my pocket, momentarily preparing myself for a confrontation ahead. Confrontation I'd supposedly initiate.
シスター逃げろ
Yoshido, you have to run.
逃げない私は逃げないわ
I won't, I absolutely will
神
not.
様どうかお願い助けて
God, please protect me. I closed my eyes, put my hand out of my pocket, and brandished Tsukasa's pencil instantly. The gauntlet had been thrown. I was putting a lot of faith into this, and I really hoped I hadn't made a mistake in doing so.
私はシシドユイこの学校で先生を目指しているわ
My name is Yui Shishido, and my goal is to become a teacher here at the school. I opened my eyes to find that the shadowy spirit, Yoshie, had stopped dead in her tracks. Did it work? Did Tsukasa's pencil keeping this vengeful spirit at bay?
私の代わりはいらない死ね
I don't need a replacement, just die. Oh. Suddenly, I was whisked off my feet and slammed against the ceiling.
シシダ
Shishido. I could see him down below. He was staring up at me and desperately leaping. He was trying to catch me, I suppose, even though he knew he'd never reach.
カサ君
Tsukasa. I called out to him over and over again, in my mind. If he could get away, if he could survive this ordeal, then it would all have been worth it. Yoshi was drawing near, and I was helplessly pinned to the ceiling. I had no chance at all. There was no doubt in my mind that my life was over. I clung to the relief I felt at Tsukasa's safety. It was the only thing keeping me from losing my head entirely. Then, all at once, the situation took a complete 180. It was like a miracle.
篠崎よしえ
Yoshi,
ここまでにせい
Yoshi Shinozaki, stop right there. Before I had any idea what was happening, I found myself bathed in a gentle light. I feel like I just got flashbanged. My eyes really hurt now.
おばあちゃん
The lady from this morning.
守ってやれんですまんなせめてこれ以上邪術が拡大せぬこと
I'm sorry I was unable to protect you, but now at least the evil will spread no further. It was the old woman who had collapsed in front of my house. She was standing down below me, enveloped in a warm glow. I would not call this a warm glow, I'd call this a holy crap, turn down the lights. The black shadow lunged toward her. There was a horrific noise, and the old woman was gone.
シスター
Shishido. And just like that, I fell to the ground. Whatever Yoshi had done to me, the old woman must have nullified it. That must have been why she came to me this morning, and why she had come again now. I felt like I was going to faint. Tsukasa ran to my side and gently scooped me off the ground into his arms. Yoshi's spirit was gone. She vanished along with the light. Around us now, only the sound of the pitter-patter of raindrops on the school roof.
Oi! Shishido! Shishido!
Hey, Shishido. Shishido! Tsukasa. I suffered quite a bump to the head from my fall. I was decidedly disoriented, but I still had enough sense to put my arms around Tsukasa's neck.
Baga! Nigero tte itta no ni!
You idiot, didn't I tell you to run away? I'm sorry, it's just... I wanted to protect you. I couldn't bear the thought of losing you. Is what I wanted to say. But instead, I just passed out in his arms. I felt as though I was waking from a long, horrible dream.
Oi, 大丈夫か?
Hey, you okay?
おい、シシド?
Shishido.
ここどこ?
Where are we?
本当に大丈夫か? 見ればわかるだろ? 学校の保健室だって。
Man, how hard a fall was that? The nurse's office, can't you tell?
保健室
The nurse's office. It occurred to me to look at my surroundings. Probably something I should have done before asking about them. But in my defense, I was out cold. Beige walls, pink curtains, white beds, with solid blue covers. It was indeed the school infirmary, no doubt about it.
どうして
Why are you...
どうしてもこうしても、お前があんなところで倒れてたから、ここに連れてきてやったんじゃん。
But the question is why you're here. Found you passed out on the ground out there, so I carried you in.
あんなところ
At where exactly?
おいおい、まだ具合悪いんじゃないのか? 肛門だよ、肛門。
Geez, did you get a concussion or something? It was right by the school gate.
校門に私そこに倒れてったの
School gate, that's where you found me. Because the school changed the heavenly host. The school changed the heavenly host. So, the fucking old lady took her out of heavenly host and brought her right to the cusp of where it would have been. Nice.
そうだけど?
Huh, ring any bells?
私確かに学校の中でヨシエさんから逃げてそうだ腕を怪我して
But I was trapped inside the school and running from Yoshi, wasn't I? That's right, my arm is probably broken.
腕なんともない
Wait, my arm's okay.
はあ? 腕?
Your arm.
夢だったのそんなはずないだって本当に痛くて死んじゃいそうだったのに
Was it really a dream? No, it couldn't have been. I mean, it really hurt, and I really thought I was going to die.
ああ、まあなんか様子が変だけど、とにかく無事でほっとしたよ。
Well, you're still a little out of sorts, but I'm glad you're safe at any rate.
こういうのって虫の知らせって言うんだな。
I guess you could say I had a gut feeling, maybe.
なんとなく気になってお前ん家に行ったら、お前のお母さんに学校に行ったって聞いてな。そしたらあんなところに倒れてるんだもんな。
I just got concerned and stopped by your house. And your mom told me you'd gone to school. So I came by to find you and, well, I found you.
司くん
Tsukasa.
うん。まあとりあえず詳しい話は後で聞くからさ。ちょっと待ってな。
Yes, there'll be time for thanks and such later on. Right now, there's something I gotta do, so hang on a sec.
あ
Okay.
司くん行っちゃったヨシエさんのこと聞こうと思ったのに
Where are you going, Tsukasa? I wanted to ask you about Yoshie. So one or two things could happen. Number one is that Tsukasa really wasn't there, and it was like her mind trying to repair what the fuck was going on. and the old lady took her out of Heavenly Host. Or 2, Tsukasa was there. The old lady still took her out of Heavenly Host, but Tsukasa is lying to make Miss Yui feel better about what happened.
あら、シシドさん、目が覚めたのね。
School nurse, the fuck? Hi, Shishido, glad to see you're awake.
先生
Ma'am.
驚いたわよ。三国くんが血相変えて私を呼びに来るんだもの。私が到直でよかったわね。
You gave us both quite a scare. Bakumi was pale as a ghost when he came to get me. Lucky for you, I was working late tonight.
ご迷惑をおかけしてすみません。
I'm so sorry to have troubled you.
それはいいのよ。でも、あなたずいぶんうなされていたから、悪い夢でも見てたんじゃない？
It's fine, of course. But you know, you're really moaning in your sleep. You're having a nightmare.
悪い夢。
Nightmare.
そうよ。三国くんもすごく心配してたわよ。
Seems like you were. Bakumi was worried sick about you.
そうだ。やっぱりきっと悪い夢なんだ。昼間に怖い話とか聞いちゃったし。
So it really was just a nightmare then. Maybe that scary story from this afternoon, it was just too much
と
for
も
me.
かく、もう大丈夫？
I'm feeling a little better now, at least.
はい。
Yeah,
そう、よかったわ。
that's good. The nurse smiled cheerfully and disappeared behind a partition curtain. Letting out a sigh, I laid myself down on the bed once more. It was dead silent. The rain must have let up. The only sound I heard was the occasional cough from the nurse, who was otherwise going about her business quietly. And with that, I'm going to end this episode here. God, what a good photo this is. So good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you later.